Morning, guys. I've done some praying last night, which I talk to my Father every night before I go to bed, and I didn't necessarily put some things out to him, but I did pour my heart out to him. Anyway, so let's go on ahead and get reading. It always looks like I'm standing so far back. Eating out. Eating out will be lots of fun. Wait until you know you are good and hungry. Pick the restaurant and choose and order the food you love the most. Americans are served very large volumes of food, therefore cut all the food in half. Our experience is that you may feel the full feeling even before you finish the first half. Ask the server for a carryout. Assure the server that the food was wonderful, or he may worry that you were not pleased and therefore worry about the tip. Take the carryout home. If you can, eat it the next time you feel hungry. Do not feel bad about carryouts. These days, it is cool to ask for a carryout even in the finest French restaurants. Many people will split an entree or dessert with someone else, which not only saves money but also avoids having leftovers when leftovers are inconvenient. Keep reminding yourself that food is not going to disappear and that your next hunger will come before long. Your body knows that you are overweight and therefore will only ask for a small amount of food. Sometimes in the course of one day you will eat all of that during one meal. Sometimes you will eat such small amounts that hunger will occur as many as five times a day. Basically, the smaller the amount of food you eat at each hunger, the more times your body will ask for food over the course of the day. But if you eat beyond full, you may not feel hunger again until sometime tomorrow. Do not worry about details right now. Let's see, if you eat beyond full, you may not. Okay. Just enjoy relearning to eat. Your body loves the decrease in food volumes you have made already. Your body loves the decrease in food volumes you have made already. Also, do not worry about making a mistake. You can always start over by just waiting for the next hunger. We suggest that you keep a travel diary. A sample is provided in Appendix D to record your journey from Egypt, from the slavery of dieting into the desert of testing, a place to learn to trust in God and learn what is in your heart. I told you we wasn't in here to play. We'll play in a little bit. Now let's go on ahead and read out of Phase 2. Practical examples of God's attention and love. God does love us so much, and we are not alone. God is right there with us at all times. Even though you might think you are far apart, He is always in your heart. Recently, as I was driving to work, I worried that God was mad at me or that He was not with me. So I pouted to Him and explained to Him that I had kept my end of the bargain and that I could feel the love I had for Him in my heart. It was a strong love, so I asked for something visible from this invisible God to show me that He was still there with me and loved me. I really could not come up with a creative sign for God, so I prayed that He would just send me a bird into view. Well, before the words got out of my mouth, I came upon a mailbox that I had passed every day on my way to work. That day, the dove and the word faith on the mailbox jumped out at me. God was telling me to have faith that He loves me. I started crying as I saw how kind He was to hear my prayers and answer them so quickly. All logical evidence shows that He is keeping His end of the marriage covenant relationship. Physical reassurance builds our faith. I have never found God to get upset when we ask for evidence of His love. However, scriptures indicate that God does not like unbelievers to keep asking for signs to prove His existence. How annoying that must be to God. We see the stars, His handiwork, His sunsets that have a different colors, seem scheme daily, and we witness the birth of new life. Yet some still demand a miraculous sign to prove the existence of God. Please, the writer of Romans put it this way: the wrath of God is being revealed from heaven against all the godlessness and wickedness of men who suppress the truth by their wickedness, since what may be known about God is plain to them, because God has made it plain to them. For since the creation of the world, God's invisible qualities, his eternal power and divine nature have been clearly seen, being understood from what has been made, so that men are without excuse. Romans 1:18-20. God is tired of showing off in such fantastic ways and having people still demand a sign to prove his existence. But for the person pursuing a loving relationship with God, he provides whatever it takes to make his beloved secure in his presence. Asking for reassurance from God is not testing God, it is seeking God. That is his command for us. There are some who think, well, that is great for you, but God does not like low-life people like me. The Apostle Paul killed and imprisoned many people, but he turned to the Father, then turned out to be one of God's favorite people. The Samaritan woman at the well, John 4:4-28, had been married 5 times and was living with a 6th man. Yet, Jesus showed compassion for her. Let me know if you have done worse than murdering a lot of people or are on your 7th marriage. You cannot mess up badly enough to stop the love God has for you. In my seminars, I tell people who are feeling low or rejected or separated from the love of the Father to do just that. Ask for a sign of his personal love. Once again, try out these truths and see if what I am saying is from God. God will bring to your mind a fleece or sign to look for. One preacher wrote to me and said that he took me up on it. Take a look at what he found. Dear Gwen, as I drove to a friend's house for lunch today, I listened to your tape, Beyond the Jordan. My family has been struggling for the last 2 years through some very dark and difficult times. Our faith has been greatly tested, and at times our marriage too. At times my soul has felt barren and God's presence distant. We have wondered, will this ever pass? Ray Down has been an answer to prayer. Today, while I was listening to a Ray Down tape in the car, you said, ask God for a sign of his presence. As I entered the subdivision, a huge flock of blackbirds lifted off yet another blanket of thick white snow. I thought to myself, okay, Lord, we've got plenty of blackbirds, hundreds of them. Give me a cardinal. No, make that a bluebird. No, God, if you are truly there, if you are still with me, give me both birds, together. After visiting a while, my friend and I sat down for lunch. Right in the middle of our meal, I glanced out the window and almost came unglued. I literally shouted, "Oh my gosh!" My friend said, What, have you had a vision or something? Indeed I had. For there, outside her window, seemingly having lunch together themselves, sat a colonel and a bluebird on the same bird feeder. It was not even 30 minutes after I had asked God to give me a sign of his presence. God is good, he is faithful, he is the jewel giver. There is hope. Richard Bryan of Indiana. We'll go on ahead and stop there. Sometimes there isn't any real good place to just up and stop, but we'll stop there. So I want to share with you a couple more jewels that I have discovered. I can now cross my legs, and I can be sitting upright. I can now cross my legs. And something that I haven't got to do for a very, very long time is sit Indian style. And I was able to sit Indian style yesterday. So that is, um, that's fantastic. I mean, before when I tried to sit Indian style, I couldn't. My stomach got in the way, and then like I'd have to just go on ahead and open up my legs and lean back because I couldn't do it. And yesterday I was actually able to sit Indian style and lean forward. Like, wow. So it is so cool. It's just two more jewels. um, I enjoy being able to put one leg over the other, and so yeah. Anyway, there's a few more clothes that I was thinking of. I've got a pair of Ellie eyes that I was wearing when I was 190 something in the 190s, and I'll probably be able to start wearing those by the end of this series, by the end of this, and by around day 90 or so, maybe even sooner. I'm going to try those on. And there's a bathing suit that I've only got to wear one time, and it is so gorgeous. It's a one piece, and it is just so beautiful. And the one time I wore it, it still didn't fit quite right. I just wasn't small enough. So I'm going to get to wear that next year. I look forward to it. And yeah, so things are happening. It's looking good. I'm feeling great. I have energy to go about and take care of my house and take care of groceries and whatnot, what I have to do. It's great. It's great. I'm feeling wonderful. The one thing that I had thought about, and it had occurred to me that with the Ray Down, even eating out or going on a vacay or whatever, I'm not having to work around a menu or anything, you know. I'm not having to plan ahead and look at calorie count or whatever. I can order whatever I want and then just eat until I'm satisfied. And like Gwen says, go around the plate and test the foods. So yeah, like whatever I order, take a nibble of that and really taste it. Take a nibble of this, really taste it. And whatever I enjoy the most, eat first and take it from there. So, you know, I look forward to days when I can really eat me an even bigger variety of food and not have to worry, because I'm not having to count or actually look at a nutrition list or work around a certain diet plan or anything. I can eat until I'm satisfied, and that's that. So it's liberating. It is seriously liberating, because Satan wants you to be bound. He does. He wants you to be bound. He wants you to feel like you have to do it this way. You have to do it that way. And oh no, you ate fat. Now you're going to gain weight back. And you know, he toys with our mind. He toys with our mind. Even on the Ray Down. That's the reason why you go through the desert of testing, because that's the time when you have to rely on God the hardest. You have to put your trust in God the most, because during the desert of testing, Satan really applies hard. He has been working overtime on me, trying to get me to overeat. When I'm not hungry, he keeps trying to appeal to me and make me want to go grab something. And I know I'm not hungry, and I'm wanting to wait until I'm hungry, and and I have to keep telling him, get off of me. Leave me alone. I'm not listening to you. Get back underneath my feet where you belong. And so, yeah, I'm going through the desert of testing right now. Also, my emotions is being like a roller coaster. I got upset at my husband yesterday for no real true reason. So yeah, right now I'm going through the desert and it's been a little rough. The desert, it gets hot, it gets dry, it becomes a desperate situation. But I'm just keeping my eyes on God instead of giving in to Satan and his tempts. I am keeping my eyes on God and I'm refusing him because I don't want to turn around and gain this weight back. I don't want to start overeating again. I don't want to start indulging again, and I don't want to start binging again. I'm losing weight. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling good about myself. My husband is enjoying my body as it's transforming. I'm starting to feel normal. So I don't want to gain it back by any means. I don't want to gain it back. So yeah, you're going to find yourself fighting hard to keep from going back to old habits. You're going to find yourself fighting hard because Satan isn't going to let off of you until you just completely put him under your feet and truly trust God. Don't give in to your old habits. Fight it and tell God you need his strength and just keep pushing forward, waiting for your true hunger and stopping when you're satisfied and not eating beyond. Just keep trusting him. Keep putting your heart into it and trust in him. And don't let Satan fool you and pull you back into your old habits. Satan's a liar, remember that. And God says he comes but to destroy. And he comes to steal. And he comes to kill. He's trying to steal our joy. He's trying to kill our spirit. And he's trying to destroy our body. We can't let him. We cannot let him. Let's keep fighting the good fight. And we are more than conquerors through Jesus Christ who strengthens us. And we can do all things through Jesus Christ. We can do this, guys. Don't quit. Don't give up. If you're just starting this, don't give up. Don't. It will get easier. And the rewards that you reap is so worth the patience and trusting God. It is worth it. So don't quit. Don't quit. If you find it's difficult and if you slip, just wait for your next hunger and cry out to God and ask him to continue helping you, to continue giving you strength, to continue retraining you and transferring you and transforming you. Just keep your eyes on him. Keep your eyes on him and you can do it. And I'm with you all the way. If you need prayer, just leave in the comments what you need prayer about. If you're struggling with eating in between meals or night binging or whatever, or if it's a circumstance that doesn't necessarily have to do with food, but you still need prayer, just leave it in the comment below. I will be more than happy to pray with you, and I'll pray for you. I'm here for you. If you've got any questions, I will try to answer. And what I don't know, I'll see what Gwen says. So just keep fighting. Don't give up. And I promise you, you will continue to reap the rewards. I guarantee it. God is faithful and just. And he's got plans for us. So just keep going forward, guys. Keep going forward. Keep going forward. Don't let Satan stop you. Don't let Satan put you back into that old habit. Trust God and keep going. You can do this. I've got confidence in you, and I've got more confidence in God that He is working for you, in you, and through you. I love you guys. I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day.